What up, everybody? Cannon Hotep, back at it again on this wonderful Friday. And if you missed it last night, you missed a shit show. You missed a shit show. So the the January 6th committee hearing started last night, prime time, 8 p.m. Like it was a new sitcom hitting the airwaves. Oh man, I went live with P-Dog Night on his channel last night. If you didn't see it, go check that out today. You can see all the fuckery that went down. Oh, it was horrible. My question is, are they considering this the third impeachment trial of Donald J. Trump? Is this the third impeachment trial of Donald J. Trump? There go more drop boxes. Maybe I'll do a video on that later about the drop boxes that they put back out at these schools, which tells me they plan on having more mail-ins. They plan on having more mail-ins for this next election. More penny savers. More penny savers. Anyway, hope you guys are having a wonderful morning. Hope you're all ready for the weekend. It's going to be a nice day here in Maryland. We're looking at about 81 degrees. I'm cool with that, with a partly cloudy day. That's straight for me. Is this the third impeachment trial of Donald J. Trump? I mean, it was a whole spectacle. You know it's bullshit when you got a TV producer, an executive TV producer, producing your government-run hearing, right? It was just bad. You had Benny Thompson out of Mississippi, Democrat, and then you had Liz Cheney, Republican in name only. I won't even say that. I guess she's just a never Trumper, right? You got Liz Cheney, and between these two, they were trying to run the biggest smear campaign I've ever seen. They were trying to run the biggest smear campaign I've ever seen, right? They were showing edited footage of that day in January, right? They would make, just lie after lie after lie, just half truth after half truth after half truth. They showed what they wanted. They said everybody out there that was doing all of this quote unquote rioting was Proud Boys or Oath Keepers. That was the narrative. Proud Boys or Oath Keepers. That was the narrative. They wanted to make it seem like Donald Trump called them personally and said, hey, I need you guys down at the Capitol ASAP. We got some shit to do, right? What up, Steph? What up, Steph? We got some shit to do. I need y'all down at the Capitol ASAP. They made it seem like Donald J. Trump called these people personally. They were editing footage. You could see where they were cutting off stuff. There was no context. You got Benny Johnson up there sounding like an old Mississippi pastor. You know, it was just a whole shit show, right? And like I was saying with P-Dog last night, I'm like, yo, what is this for? He already beat these fucking charges in the impeachment hearing. So what is this for? Well, we all know what it's for, right? We all know what it's for. It's to discredit and assassinate the character of Donald Trump just in case he runs for president, right? I'm not sure if it's a thing that he's actually going to run, just in case he runs for president. They want to assassinate the character of Donald Trump, right? They want to drag some Republicans down with him. Apparently last night was just the beginning, right? Last night was just the beginning. They got other hearings that are happening throughout next week at night. I'll try my best to stream that. Hope you guys will join me. Have some special guests on to analyze, you know, but this is ridiculous. This is crazy, right? This is fucking nonsensical. You know, whatever happened to Double Jeopardy? Remember that? But see, the thing is, the way they get away with this is because this isn't a criminal hearing. This isn't a judicial hearing. This is just them giving their opinion and passing it off as fact. This is them giving you their truth, what they like to say, not the truth, their truth. You know, like I said, you know how they like to say it. You know, I'm speaking my truth, right? Thing about it is, they wanted to make it seem like, oh my God, we were overrun. But see, the thing is, we know that they're going to selectively edit. They're going to cherry pick what they want to feed to the American people, right? They're not going to point out the fact that Donny T asked for 10,000 National Guard troops, you know, ahead of the rally to make sure shit went smooth. And they ain't going to tell you that Nancy Pelosi said no because of the optics, right? They're not going to tell you that. They're not going to tell you that Muriel Bowser down in D.C. refused to allow D.C. Metro Police to assist the Capitol Police in on that day in January when she was asked ahead of time. They're not going to tell you that all that nonsense took place while Trump was speaking. They made it seem like when Trump was speaking that he was speaking right there at the, they made it seem that he was speaking at the Capitol. Right? Never mind that they were 1.5 miles apart. And in order to make what happened or what they want you to think happened, them motherfuckers had to have a hell of a fucking sub 4-minute mile or whatever you want to call it. You know what I mean? Walk 1.5 miles. Would it take? Would you go walk a mile or what? Would it take like 12 minutes to walk a mile? You know? But it was a whole shit show last night, and it's going to be more and more of a shit show. You know, everybody on the committee is a Democrat with the exception of 2 people, and that's Liz Cheney and I forgot the other Republican. Everybody else is a Democrat. Benny Thompson is a never-Trumper who wanted to certify Trump's election when he won in 2016. Right? So you already know where their heads are. We knew that Liz Cheney was coming for his head. We knew Jamie Raskin was coming for Trump's head. These are the people who got Adam Schiff up there. These are people that have been gunning for Trump since day one. Day one. You want the real collusion? They sitting up there on that committee as you watch it. That's the real collusion right there. Not to mention, and I mentioned this in one of my other streams, right? I mentioned this in one of my other streams. What was it, the New York Times stuff? I put that up there. It's basically, they said, yeah, we stole it, but it was for your own good. It was like how the secret shadow campaign to win the election. Remember that? I put that shit up on my stream. It was the fucking front cover of the Washington Times. I mean, New York, was it Time Magazine? I'm sorry. They admitted to it, right? They're not going to show the footage. They're not going to show the footage of Capitol Police letting people through the stanchions, opening the doors, allowing people to come in. They're not going to show the Capitol Police moving the riot gates or the bike gates, whatever they're called. They're not going to show that footage. They had a Capitol Police officer up there saying that she was knocked to the ground and knocked unconscious by some of the protesters, right? They showed video. For some reason, she was the only officer in the vicinity, which doesn't make sense to me. That tells me that it was like an action, and then they made some shit happen. You know what I mean? And like I told P-Dog last night, like, you wouldn't have caught me down that motherfucker to save my life. You wouldn't have caught me down there. I would be caught dead down at the Capitol on January 6th. It was always a setup. It was going to be a setup. The reason why Nancy Pelosi didn't want the National Guard there, the reason why she didn't want D.C. Metro Police assisting the Capitol Police when she's in charge of the Capitol Police, is because she wanted those optics. She wanted those optics. They planted a few bad actors. They planted some, what's it called? Agent provocateurs, if you will, right? She planted some people down there to lead a group of dumbasses that would have followed into the Capitol. We seen Ray Epps. We seen a video of Ray Epps, right? We seen that video. You know, he was getting called out by the people down there that knew better. But guess what? They edited Ray Epps out of a couple of pieces of that footage last night. I'll tell you that much. It's out of hand. The timing, you know, they good with branding. You know, the left is good with branding, like HJ say, right? The left is good at branding, right? The timing couldn't be more perfect. It's June. The Democrats ain't looking that great right now, right? People looking to jump ship. Midterms is around the corner. They could very well lose the House. What you say, stuff? Level 5 distraction, that's facts. That's facts. If they broadcast these hearings on national TV on a weeknight, you know it's some BS. Yeah, man. It's straight up BS, bro. Like I said last night, they threw that shit up there prime time, 8 o'clock, like it was 2.5 minutes, some shit. You know what I mean? Like I said, if you haven't seen it, me and P-Dog Knight went live last night. That's on P-Dog Knight's channel. He invited me on to give live commentary on the first night of the hearings. You know, it's just perfect timing. This is what they're doing. They want to assassinate Donald Trump's character ahead of the elections. They know that their candidates don't stand a chance right now. We got record high gas prices, right? We got food shortages, right? Inflation's through the roof right now. And here come these never Trumpers making it all about me. You got AOC. You got AOC coming on Twitter talking about, oh my God, the flashbacks, it's all coming back to me now, oh my God. And she wasn't nowhere close. Nowhere close. Like I said last night, she the David Hogg of fucking January 6th. Ridiculous. You see that, what up, Lee? You see that Nancy Pelosi and Schumer refused National Guard's help on that? So, yeah, I mentioned that. That was actually one of my first videos ever made. I need to put that shit on YouTube. It's on Twitter. See, before I got on YouTube, I was putting all my videos on Twitter. Maybe I need to go back and put a lot of these videos back on YouTube, and maybe do a Hotep's Been Told You playlist or something. Canon Speaks playlist. But yeah, you know, Trump asked for 10,000 troops, and Nancy Pelosi said no. She didn't like it. It was going to bring bad optics. It wasn't going to bring bad optics. It was going to bring the optics that she didn't want. And the optics that she wanted was what you got. Anybody find it odd that right before they're getting ready to vote to recertify and send it back to the states, right? Just before they're about to vote and to send the shit back to the states, right? That's when they breached the Capitol. Like right at that moment. Anybody find that odd? I do. They threw them some bail and they didn't have to vote on it. It was the plan all along. The plan all along. Not just Trump MAGA period, yeah. Remember after that day, they were really going to make, hard to make that, domestic terrorist label. They still trying to. They still trying to, Steph. They still trying to. I mean, they still trying to. They want to make that stick. This is the crazy part, people. I want you to understand this. This is what's going to happen anybody, any detractor, anybody that goes against the official narrative, anybody that doesn't fall in line to what the powers that be want. Right? We don't say the white man went down there to get him some freedom. Right? They're going to demonize these people for protesting, right? Last I remember, that Summer of Love, I could have swore that they stormed was it the Michigan State Capitol, if I'm not mistaken? The Black Lives Matter that took over the Michigan State Capitol. I'm pretty sure I remember that correctly. You know what I mean? That's the funny part. You know, they wanted to make everything seem all white supremacy, right? And if you look at some of the video, they show that guy, Enrique, right? They try to implicate him in January 6th. I'm like, didn't y'all arrest him the day before? Y'all arrested him the day before. We find out he an informant. Then you look at some of the video, they try to lighten his skin up a lot to make it seem like he was a white man. Either they would show it in black and white, or they would show some shitty video of him, or some fucking washed out video to make it seem like he lighter than me. Right? Shit crazy. But get ready for the fuckery to begin. Lee Morgan says this is a joke. There's actual footage of police, FBI letting in. Yeah. I mentioned that. You're right. It's BS. Hey guys, if you're new, hit that like, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification icon. Like this stream. Share this stream out. Let people know we live. Help me beat this algorithm, please. TV slow rolling it. There should be a lot more people in the chat than it is, but YouTube don't put out my my notifications when I'm going live. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't get them. Shit crazy. You know what I mean? And it's going to get worse. They talking about they got these witnesses and this and that. And we got people from his cabinet who are going to say that they did this and this. When they were showing video of people answering questions, it was out of context. You can see them leading. The person that was giving accounts. They tried to use Ivanka Trump against them, right? In which I'm sure she didn't say shit. I'm sure Jason Miller was one of the first videos they showed. I'm interested to see what he say today after them selectively editing his account. They only played a snippet. They cherry picked everything. Jared Kushner, Steve Bannon on his podcast. They played like a 2-second clip that was way out of context. They cut Trump's speech where he said, "Let's make our voices peacefully heard." They cut that. They doing some fuckery. All because they're afraid that if he runs, he will win again. But this is the funny part. This is what I think a lot of people lose touch on this. A lot of people don't understand, right? Anybody watching it already have their mind made up either way, right? Either they think he was responsible for January 6th, or they don't. Right? That's just what it is. This is all political theory again for them to garner support and try to get more votes. Showing quote unquote never before seen footage is never before seen. We've seen a lot of that shit. Right? We've seen a lot of that shit. But I bet you they won't show the footage to the contrary. They're not going to play the sound bites. They're not going to play the speech in full, which they should, but they're not. Right? They said that Trump never tried to call off the mob. Trump never tried to call off the mob. But we know he did. He did a video that Twitter took down immediately. Right? No network played. He put out a public service announcement and he tweeted. And he tweeted for them to stop. That Twitter again took down immediately. You know why? Because it was a concerted effort to Shanghai 2020. They couldn't let that shit get recertified. They couldn't let that shit get sent back to the states. They know there's a good chance they was gonna get found out, right? They also had video of people saying, well, like Barr was saying, well, you know, basically saying that, told him that it was, you know, he didn't have have any grounds for, you know, his lawsuit and shit like that. And the reason why, and they don't play things in context. The reason why is, right, and if you saw 2,000 Mules, you would understand this. But even before 2,000 Mules even came out, people knew this. And I said this before. They were mailing them things out. They were mailing them ballots out like penny savers, right? There is no chain of custody. There's no chain of custody. If there's no chain of custody, right? If there's no chain of custody, they're curating and rewriting history. That's exactly what they stuff. There's no chain of custody. So if there's no chain of custody, how do you trace a ballot back to a particular person? How do you recount something? How do you know that it's official that this person actually filled this out? You know why? Because once you take the ballot out of the envelope, there's no trace. It's like paying cash. It's like paying cash for something. There's no trace. It's the perfect crime. You can't prove anything at that point. It's not like a absentee where you gotta sign for it. You gotta do this. You gotta do that. No, these mail-ins was like paying cash. You know what I mean? Stuff in the ballot box. Not to mention all the discovery that just came out in the past year, you know, about actual fraud happening. Actual fraud happening. Right? That's all coming out. And now they're trying to use this committee to discredit everything. They're trying to use this committee to discredit it all. To try to sweep this under the rug. To try to demonize and paint Trump as this bad guy and the Republican Congress and Senate as these sycophants and complicit actors, right? Thing is, I don't think it's going to work. I don't think this is going to work. I don't think a whole lot of people are watching it. And if they're watching it through people like us, like YouTubers and stuff like that, to get feedback on what's being said. You know what I mean? I think January 6th was retarded. I think it was stupid. I get it. You want to have a rally. You want to, you know, hey guys, we're going to fight this. Right? You know, and they made it seem like when he said fight this, mean like they wanted to make it seem like he wanted them armed up and running up in there and shooting people and this and that. Right? No, they're fighting illegally. You know, he wanted to let his base know that, hey, I'm not going quietly into the night. I'm going to fight this as much as I can. Right? And like I said, it only take a few bad actors to start leading some of the people. Right? What up, Kwai? It only take a couple bad actors, bro. You know what I mean? You put a couple of look at what, you know, you put a couple of well-placed people, well-placed people into a crowd of people and try to get them to do some irrational stuff. Right? These midlife crisis actors. You try to get them, you know, to go do nonsense, right? That's all it takes. That's all it takes. There's a couple of people to do something dumb, and then some people in that crowd follow behind them. And that's what they counted on. They counted on a couple of people in that crowd following behind them. Right? That's why you had, like I said, the Ray Epps dude. The Ray Epps dude trying to get people to follow him somewhere. You know, going to find out he the feds. You know what I mean? You find out that the leader of the Proud Boys, he the feds. Right? They picked him up. They picked him up the day before. He wasn't even there. Right? But they using him in his testimony. They're using him in his testimony. But he wasn't even there though. How you gonna use his testimony if he not there? Right? It's all a shit show. It's all a dog and pony show. That's all this is. Order through chaos. They're creating a problem and they create a solution to the problem. They really don't want Donny T running. This thing can't stop him from running. all it can do is sway the court of public opinion, and I don't think I don't think it's going to do that. I think that a lot of damage has been done to our economy. A lot of damage has been done to households, right? People, you had old Joe Nicholslick up there lying, talking about the economy's doing well, and this is the most time people had the most money in their pocket and saving. Just lying, and nobody taking them to task on it. Nobody taking them to task on it. He just straight lying about it, right? When in fact, average savings of a family or a household is down $9,000. It's down $9,000, right? He acting like this gas crisis ain't happening. He acting like these food shortages ain't happening. He acting like this inflation ain't real, right? After they just kept printing money on top of money, on top of money, on top of money, on top of money, keep printing that dollar. And like Alan Greenspan said, we can print as much money as we want, but we won't be able to control how much that money worth after a while. They flooding the money with them they flooding the market with them greenbacks, and it's not worth anything, right? You know what I mean? It's crazy. It's just crazy. I mean, it's nonsensical, you know. And they're going to drag this shit out for a couple of weeks. What's this, June? Midterms is in November. It'll drag out. I think it'll probably end up dragging out through to July. I would say. That's my opinion. It's going to drag on through July. But man, shit, man, it's sad. It's just sad. What up, Ricky B? Everybody hated Savage 45, but everybody was definitely making money during his term. That's facts. That's facts. Look at those same folks now, still mad and still blaming Savage 45. That's facts. That's facts. They, you know what I mean? Ask anybody in the hood, yo. That's the funny part. Ask anybody in the hood. They ain't had no problem with Donny T. Like you said, they was getting money. They was cool. Like, yo, I'm getting money for real. I ain't tripping. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's, you know, most people think that he said what the news say he said. You know, they don't give you the context. But they like, yo, I was making money. I don't care what he say. All right? You got a lot of people in the hood say that, yo, I vote for him. You know what I mean? But they count on people being dumb. They count on people being dumb and misinformed. They count on being able to misinform the masses to their benefit. They count on misinforming the masses to their benefit. So I'm telling you guys, get ready for a shit show. It started last night. Like I said, if you hadn't seen the live stream with me and P-Dog Nighters on P-Dog Night's channel, we gave commentary. You can hear all the fuckery in its entirety. It's sad, people. It's sad. The Republic is falling. The Republic is falling. And we can save it. But it's going to take a lot of us to do it. Anyway, before I get out of here, Hotep weekend, August 11th through the 13th. Get your tickets now. They're going fast. We got special guests. We got celebrity chefs. We got an amazing hotel. It's going to be a blast. We had a hell of a good time last year. I'm looking forward to meeting new people this year. It's going to be off the chain. You want to go shoot with, what's up, Jay? If you want to, you know, go have a shooting experience with me, we're going to talk the 2A. We're going to talk gun owners' rights, gun safety. We're going to talk all that good stuff. We got Hotep's Been Told You live before a studio audience. We got build sessions. Not to mention, we right off the strip, so if you want to go lose some of your money, you can go do so at the casinos, right? It's going to be a fun time. Going to be a fun time. Get your tickets now. HotepNation.com to get your tickets. Use the promo code CANNON, CANNON, to get 10% off your tickets. That's Hotep Weekend, Hotep Con, August 11th through the 13th, Las Vegas at the Ahern Hotel. Be there or be square. Anyway, I'm just getting to work. I got a lot of shit to do today. Maybe I'll stream a little later on tonight. Matter of fact, tonight, me and Jay Pylon, we're going to review Obi-Wan. We're going to do our Obi-Wan review tonight, 8:30. It's going to be fun. Bring your lightsabers. Bring the Force. Might be right about might be right about Shorty, but West Baltimore will be represented in outer space. Anyway, it's Cannon Hotep. Y'all guys have a wonderful Friday, and let's get to the weekend and have some fun. I'll holla at you. Yeah, hit that like. I appreciate you, Latina, for freedom. I appreciate you, man.